I love Korean barbecue. I love Korean women.
And you love Korean kimchi.
And Hannah loves Korean kimchi.
Hi, Rogers.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here, Hannah.
Me too. How have you been doing?
I've been doing fine.
I'm fine too. What's your biggest interest these days?
Well, these days, my biggest interests are two little girls. I have two daughters, 11 and 16. I had never had children. I never wanted children. I thought children were horrible, horrible waste of time. I was never, ever going to have children, Hannah. I want you to know I was wrong, completely wrong. These little girls are so much fun, so wonderful. If there's anybody watching this who has not had children, you should go home and get going. But maybe don't go home. These are difficult. Go home for lunch, though. Go home for lunch. I'm telling you, children are just wonderful. It'll change. It'll be wonderful for your life. Korea needs children. Asia needs children. The world needs children. So please go home and have children. And if you have children, be sure to have girl children, because girls are so much better than boys. I know in Korea you think boys are better, but that's wrong. Wrong. Girls are much, much, much better. So go home and have some girls.
Okay. Then let's start the interview. First of all, let's talk about standard graphene and nanomedics.
Sure. Well, graphene, Korea, South Korea, has a lead in the graphene business, as you probably know. And according to the scientists, not me, Hannah, but the scientists say that graphene is going to be as important as the internet to the world. I have no idea, but I do know that graphene is a miracle. You know, it's as thin as paper, as strong as steel, it's flexible. I mean, really, it's astonishing stuff. And South Korea is going to have a lead in graphene with standard graphene down in Ulsan. So I'm very keen. Nanomedics, I'm just, can we say yet?
The prospects for investment in the graphene business?
Well, I hope they're enormous. The scientists say that graphene is going to be as important as the internet. Well, you know what the internet has done to the world. Well, if graphene does half that much, then graphene has a huge future. Graphene is virtually unknown now. In fact, it was only, quote, discovered less than 15 years ago, and so it's not used very many places at all. But you know, they can make clothes out of graphene. They can make airplanes out of graphene. They can make everything out of graphene. So once it starts, and if you can find people who can make it efficiently and cheaply, such as in South Korea, it's going to have a huge future, gigantic. You know what the internet has done to the world. If graphene does a tenth of that, everybody in Korea is going to be very rich, including you and me.
Yes, future.
For my investments in the future, you know, Japan. Let's start with Japan. Japan has declining population for nearly a decade, and it's going to continue to decline for a long time. And the debt in Japan is skyrocketing. So I'm not optimistic about the future of Japan. It's a very high-cost place to do business, and I don't see many prospects for a good future. Korea, on the other hand, you have problems too, but you have something no other country in the world has. You have a new frontier opening up. You have North Korea. When that 38th parallel opens, North Korea has lots of natural resources. Japan does not. North Korea has a lot of cheap, disciplined, educated labor right on the Chinese border. You have manufacturing ability in the south. You have capital in the south. So you'll have a peninsula of 80 million people on the Chinese border. Also, you have a female problem in the south. You don't have enough girls in the south. Well, in the north, they got plenty of girls. You don't have to marry Vietnamese women anymore. You can get plenty of Korean women in the north. So it's going to be great for both countries. Therefore, I am more optimistic about the future of the Korean peninsula than I am of Japan.
Okay. The US and China trade dispute is becoming serious again. How will US and China relations flow in the future?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Trump either doesn't know history or he thinks he's smarter than history. He thinks that trade wars are good. The people around him think that trade wars are good. Unfortunately, for me, for the world, for you, for everybody, nobody has ever won a trade war. No trade war has ever been good for anybody. So the future doesn't look good between China and the U.S. And what will happen, in my view, soon, China and Beijing and Washington will make an announcement that everything is okay, we solved the problem, and we will all be happy for a while. The problem, Hannah, is it will not be real, because when problems start in the American economy, whether it's this year, next year, whenever, Mr. Trump will come back. He will blame it on the Chinese, the Koreans, the Japanese, the Mexicans, the Germans. He's going to blame it on everybody except himself. And then he will come back with another trade war, and it will be more serious this time. So I'm extremely worried about the future of the world economy in the next few years. You should watch SEN TV and YouTube will become informed, and YouTube will be.
Korea, a hardline or peaceful relationship?
You should tear down the 38th parallel. If I were President Moon, I would go up to the 38th parallel and I would meet President Kim there, and we would have a K-pop concert. We would have Blackpink and whoever you want. We would have a big K-pop. We'd have North Korean singers and dancers. We'd have a fabulous K-pop concert open to the world. Take down the 38th parallel and let good times roll. That's what you should be doing. This is 2019. This is not 1949. This is not 1959. Let's do it. Come on. Everybody wants it. The Russians want it. The Chinese want it. The North Koreans want it. The South Koreans want it. The Japanese don't want it, but that's because they don't want to have to compete with an open Korea. The Americans don't want it because they want to keep troops. They want to occupy South Korea, even though the war was over 60, whatever, many decades ago. But everybody else wants it. So let's please do it. And I want to come to the K-pop concert.
Okay. Economy, short-term and long-term outlook.
Short-term, the world is slowing down, and that's going to continue for many reasons. It's going to get worse. One thing, Hannah, it's been over 10 years since the American economy has had a slowdown. Now that's the longest in American history without a slowdown. Maybe it's going to go on 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. Maybe we're never going to have a slowdown again. I doubt it. We always have. So soon we're going to have more slowdown. You already see many parts of the world slowing down. Soon the slowdown is going to get worse, and the whole world is going to have problems. Korea should have fewer problems than the rest of the world if you just open up the 38th parallel, because then you will have the new frontier, which will help your economy more than other countries. But everybody's going to have problems. Hannah, you should watch SEN TV. You'll see.
TV and yes. YouTube.
And YouTube.
My YouTube.
You should watch Hannah YouTube.
Okay.
What's the name of it?
자, 드디어 마지막 질문. The last one. The Korean stock market has plunged these days. Many people are having a hard time. Give them advice.
Well, my advice is the advice that I give to all investors, Korea or not. You should please do not invest in anything unless you yourself know a lot about it. Most people lose money in the market because they're always listening to hot tips. They watch the television, they watch the internet, and they're jumping in and out of things when they really don't know what they're doing. If you want to be a successful investor, the key is to stay with just what you yourself know. Don't listen to me, well, maybe you could listen to Hannah, but don't listen to other people. Stay with what, if I told you that you could only have 20 investments in your whole life, you would be very careful about what you invested in, and then you would be a successful investor. if you stay with what, and everybody watching this knows a lot about something, whether it's cars or fashion or sports or something. Stay with what you know. You will see something changing long before I will, because if it's fashion, you look at fashion every day, every week. So you will know long before I will when something is going to change, it will be successful. And when you see something, don't just say, oh, look at that. No, then do some research, find the companies, make sure the management is competent, make sure they're not too deep in debt, and you'll probably buy the stock. You will also know when to sell that stock. First of all, you'll find it long before I will, because I don't care about fashion. But second, you'll know when it's going to change, when it's going to get bad, or turn the other way, and you'll know when it's what you do every day anyway. That's how you get rich if you want to get rich as an investor. And of course, watch Hannah.
구독. Repeat. What I say?
구독.
구독. 좋아요. 알림. Thank you. One more. Plus, I 지금 of standard graphene and nanomatics.
Well, I have spent more time with standard graphene. I like them. They're smart people. They have vision. They know what needs to be done, and I don't know if they can execute, but it looks to me as if they can execute. Likewise, Chairman An at Nanomatics, I've only met once, but he certainly seems to be smart, energetic, know what he's doing, and hopefully he's going to bring new improvements to his company and to the world. Hooray! Hooray for Korea!
Hooray for Korea!
Hooray for Korea!
Hooray for Korea!
Yes, especially the new Korea. Joseon.
Joseon.
You know what Joseon is?
Joseon Dynasty?
Well, yeah, the peninsula.
Peninsula.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my. 반도. Peninsula.
Peninsula. This is a peninsula.
Yeah, right. Oh, Korea.
Yes, this
There
peninsula
Yeah.
is going to be extremely exciting in the future. Hooray for Korea!
Hooray for Korea. Bye. Hi, this is Rogers. Bye.